you very much, Lottie. And not only welcome to the Casters booth, but welcome to the Pool of Death, everybody. It's Pool D, Andy. We have some international flair in this matchup. We have NaVi taking on eUnited. What a match this could be for both sides.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. And what a start to the weekend, right? This is going to be a big trajectory setter for these teams in terms of where they go from here. NaVi, of course, looking for the upset. I talked to eUnited. They didn't even know the game types in the series, right? They're thinking that this might be a pretty quick series for them, but NaVi is going to want to challenge that if they have their way.
100%. And I mean, eUnited, it's all about can the underdogs become the big dogs over the next 3 days, right? We saw what happened to them in Orlando. Their lowest placement of the year, but there was still a lot of positives for them to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of great series they had there, of course. They beat C9 in pools, Game 5 against Sentinels, but now they have to get set and get locked for the World Championship. eUnited versus NaVi. Game number 1 will be Oddball Recharge. Interesting storyline here in this game type. 0-4 in Oddball was NaVi in Orlando. Not the start you want if you're looking at that game number 1. eUnited actually 1-0 in that game type in Orlando, so maybe a little bit of an upper hand for them.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this one does play out. On the other side of the stage, of course, we do have NaVi, the only team to directly qualify in Orlando through that top 12 placement to the Halo World Championships. This is a massive matchup for all 4 guys that sound that stage representing Europe, but for eUnited, this is a chance for them to put down a marker, not just in the pool, but for the rest of the tournament too.
All right, here we go, right away into game number 1. Welcome to the second series here on the main stage. Pool number D, as we said, excuse me, Pool D, as we said, the Pool of Death. Some of the fiercest teams in this competition all finding themselves in that 4th and final pool. This is game number 1 between eUnited and NaVi.
And a really strong start here for eUnited as well. Not only did they get the kills, they've got a little bit of map control, and Ryan Oob has got himself some equipment to play with. You can see he's got a grapple. He's already been flying around the map with that. He's also got the shock rifle in his hands. Now he's escaping, and at the moment, NaVi just chasing shadows, all of them in the death screen, but nobody yet able to get their hands on that oddball.
Had a chance to chat with Jimbo at the warm-up station before this series, asking just how he's looking at these game types. What does he think of this layout? And they told me they want to win games 1 and 2. Nice angle here from Ryan Noob from the glass. He's going to stop that advancement into the bat ledge, but he told me they want to win both games 1 and 2. They're not so confident in game 3, Bizarre CTF, so they are really prioritizing these first 2 games in the series.
Yeah, Bizarre CTF, not surprising to hear they're not too confident, not just from their side as well, but one of the only games that Optic Gaming, of course, lost in Orlando was to eUnited on Bizarre, so that's just how good they can be. But at the moment, it's only a 1-0 lead, actually, for NaVi, but that's been turned around. The first time we've seen eUnited get some semblance of full time on their hands, but Ray's going to have to play that one or try and rotate. NaVi not going to let that happen. 2 players from eUnited fall, as we see Snaky on our screens right now doing some damage to Snipedown.
Snipedown, interestingly, doesn't go into long haul there. Maybe knew that he was going to get pinched by glass. Jimbo tries to get it away. He will get it to the bottom of gold stairs, but a nice back and forth between these 2 teams, applying equal pressure to one another so far.
Yeah, a lot of respect being shown by both teams at the moment. Nobody going to desperate for ball time. Nobody going to take an undue risk. And at the moment, Suspector is just going to be taking no risks whatsoever as he wins his 1v1 engagement, having that little advantage of that first shot. Now he's just controlling the top of glass. Jimbo, he's going to get taken down as well. And Kimbo, unfortunately, at the moment, a little bit of a slow start for him. 1 kill on the board and the 5 deaths alongside it.
Great little run here from Suspector. Really impressive. If you caught the last episode of Eclipse from eUnited, you know just how excited Ryan Noob and Rain are to have Suspector as what they call the 3rd of their trio. This is the first time this season where they felt they really had that 3rd player that's rounding out the roster. And of course, now with Snipedown here on the Snipedown Revenge Tour, this team is poised for a potential World Championship run. 2 dead though for eUnited. Nice shot here from Snipedown from top gold.
Speaking of Snipedown, he's on our screens right now, but NaVi have managed to scoop that ball away back towards the elevator. You can see that Mighty's the man who's got the ball in his hands. Is supported by 2 teammates as well, so Snipedown trying to put some pressure on at the moment, but NaVi also trying to rotate, and it looks like they might be able to get out of here. Mighty's doing a good job to stay alive top elevator as well. Snipedown's going to try and take him down, and will be able to do so. That might be the kill to give them the opening, but NaVi go into a slender lead.
Notice how Snipedown also hits the grapple and stays on height there in the connector, able to get the kill, gets another one in the back of Hydro as well. Great stuff here, but what a low-scoring game, Mark, overall. Like you said, these 2 teams really showing one another respect and making sure they get the kills on the board before they go for the ball control.
Oh, that's 3 dead here for eUnited as well. NaVi doing a great job to team shot Snipedown from the tower. putting him on his back for a few moments. It was Snaky who actually picked up the double kill to create the opening. So Snaky, who, well, the rest of NaVi actually boot camping over in America, has been boot camping from London. So he's been playing on some high ping. It must be good for him to get back on land.
Absolutely. Now you see the ball still in the hands of NaVi, maybe looking for a play here, but they will go into a sizable lead. It's 31-8 here, 3 still dead. RyanNoob with a hero play ball. Gonna buy them a little bit of extra time there. To be honest, NaVi cannot let that happen with the 4th player alive.
Oh, big win coming in from Rain, though. You can see that Jimbo maybe trying to take an extra second to line up that headshot to guarantee himself the 4. Just gave Rain the opportunity to outpace him in that battle and hit the 4 before he could. The camouflage is going to be popping up as well. You can see ball down bottom middle, and all of a sudden you can see the game starting to fire up a little bit here. Starting to get a little bit more desperate. Ryan who gets that camo, but NaVi have got eyes on him here.
Let's see if Ryan can stay alive. This would be huge. He's going to grab the shock as well. Look at what develops just from RyanNoob playing that ball off of top A. He causes carnage. The ball stays bottom middle. They haven't scored any points, and off the back of his respawn, he picks up camo shock. You cannot leave RyanNoob the last player alive, and this is why.
Worrying thing here for RyanNoob is that NaVi managed to keep that ball out of the hands of eUnited, so he did reset, which means that RyanNoob has now got to rethink his next play. Mighty's going to be challenging. RyanNoob has to smartly back down, though, to keep that shock rifle control in the hands of eUnited. However, you can see it's been run at right now because NaVi pick up 3 kills elsewhere. They swarm onto him, and Mighty's grabs that ball and brings it back towards Red.
Really nice job, really nice patience there from NaVi. Even though RyanNoob bought his team so much time, Snipedown was the last player alive. He falls, so still control. RyanNoob bought so much time for eUnited. However, NaVi hasn't scored. 36-8. They will finally take him down. They will finally rotate the ball.
It's pretty smart from Kimbo as well. You saw he had pressure coming in from the eUnited push on pipes. Instead of maybe taking a 2v1, just because he saw Spartans in front of him, he decides to think about that objective, rotate it away from that push, but now he's got to do some heavy lifting himself. FaZe, he managed, Snipedown, excuse me, the game attack got me there, on eUnited. Managed to pick up a couple of kills on the push there, but 2v2 on the map. Snipedown now having to make some decisions himself. 2 players in the long haul are going to be pushing, and now Snipedown with a little bit of help is trying to drag that score a bit closer.
Suspect your last player alive here for eUnited. This should be more points on the board. For the side of NaVi, they have not been as objective efficient as they might like in this game. However, they still lead 40-17 with 15 seconds left.
15 seconds left. They hold this off. This one push, then maybe this will be the round going to NaVi. The first kill is going to go in their favor. It's 3v3 on the map. Ball is down. That's absolutely fine for NaVi. Their only objective is to keep eUnited off of this ball. Rain manages to scoop it up, though. Kimbo goes for a little bit of a longer flank. He's got a little bit of work to do here, and it will be the work done. And NaVi take home the first round. In oddball here, the Europeans, they're here to play.
I mean, we heard how they're prioritizing this game #1. They knew how seriously they need to take game #1, and they get the upset in the first round here, the European side. And now the pressure is on eUnited, backs against the wall. This is a must-win round.
You wonder why we're calling it the pool of death. Because of things like this, every single round, every single kill in this pool is going to matter so much. 3 dead off the rip here for eUnited as well. And there's Mighty's getting the 4th with his shock rifle. The perfect opening strat here for NaVi.
Wow, a big wake-up call for eUnited right away on Friday afternoon early on. Their first match in pool play. Grapple of the ball there will go back into the hands of NaVi on the rotate as well, as they'll get the first points on the board in round #2.
Such a small play, but such a big play from Kimbo there. Grappling that ball back to get it into a play ball position, because NaVi made a bit of a bad choice. Haven't got that 4 dead in the shot. They took it towards elevator, and that spawn wasn't blocked. So NaVi not taking advantage of the opportunity from the 4 dead for ball time, but Mighty's now trying to get away. Snipedown's getting taken down, and again, eUnited find themselves with no numbers on the map, and they're chasing shadows from NaVi.
There was 3 dead again. Snipedown trying to do something there from the batteries. He was the last player alive and trying to stop the ball from getting into gold. He can't do it solo, and just like that, 25-0 in favor of NaVi.
NaVi looking really strong at the moment, and this man on your screen is one of the reasons why a lot of conversations were had, difficult conversations from NaVi back in Orlando about how they want to approach the game, who wants to be the leader, and it's Jim who has stepped up as that IGL. A lot of pressure on the shoulders for him, of course, having taken that role. But now it allows Kimbo to do what he does best, and that, quite simply, is win his gunfights.
NaVi here looking so good in game #1. Let's get to an Astro listening here with NaVi in round #2.
Nice, Robbie. Hold you in.
Nice. Yeah, turbine at top A. We'll reset.
Boys, camo next.
Camo 10. Let's now. Grapple boys.
Come in, Arc to lift. Try and lift.
Go. Oh, I should have gone down. One's glass, nice. Good play for me.
I don't see glass.
Mike up, danger. I'm
looking. Yeah, I got shots. Also bottom A or some shit, or top A.
I got camera at one.
Top A somewhere.
To worry about Jim here.
Top A. One shot top A. Oh my god.
They should have spawned at one ball.
Yeah, they're all gonna be there.
Try and go on, look for. They made pipes.
2 pints.
Any damage?
Yeah, running weak.
Oh, I got played, man. Fuck. Mid-bridge and bow.
Also one shot.
It's free there, I think. Should all be there. Both absolutely.
Also one long, bro. There's one long.
Okay, 2A.
Going behind you. Steps. Still steps, bottom steps.
One left. It's 2A.
Both weak. Watch the back.
I'll be there in a sec.
I'll get back there.
There's one turbine. Triangle.
Both weak.
Triangle and ball, guys.
Bow dead. Last guy's rain. Last guy.
Live. Make sure you live.
Tower now.
Power's a kill, Helium.
One shot, boys.
Nice ball. I mean, we can run this VR if you want.
Yeah, go.
I'm going left. Garrett, man. One's bats now. One's grapple edge. One's needler. I can't come here.
There's one by the chat.
Arcs are still you. Play them.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna hold bottom,
I
yeah?
see what you're doing. Okay.
Keep going off, Robbie.
Bottom, Robbie.
Fuck him up,
Nice, Robbie.
Push.
I got shots.
Watch out, boys. And the work getting those. Jump up.
Nice, Robbie. Okay, pass, Robbie.
Well, look at NaVi go and look at Kimbo go at the moment. The man is on fire. Wonderboy behind him is giving him all sorts of encouragement.
He is. That's all you need. Look at this run from NaVi. It was just tied at 32, and instead, Kimbo decided to wake up with the shock rifle in hand. Finally, he's taken down. What a run, though. 62-33 for NaVi in what would be the round securing game here.
They're going to secure the round, though. As we know, eUnited, they've been in these positions before. They know the game is not over until it is over. And with this little push coming in, maybe there's an opportunity for them. But Kimbo now, having currently put himself on 20 and 12 kills and assists, has the forwards running it away and is doing everything for NaVi at the moment.
And there's a lot more points on the board in this round. And honestly, this round might have played round one would have played really similar to this round had Ryan Noob not gotten those hero play balls. This time, NaVi is prioritizing the last kill alive. And you heard during the listening, they are on the same page, making sure they know where that last player is.
Look at this swarm again coming in from NaVi. You don't have the opportunity to miss shots at the moment because NaVi are taking advantage of what is presented in front of them at the moment, though. Mighties has responsibility. He's got camo, he's got shock, and he's got headshots in his future as well.
Dominant control of the shock and the camo here in this game, and it has shown on the scoreboard. 68-33 with 2 minutes left.
This young man has been so impressive so far this year. For now, he's going to have to watch his teammates do a little bit of heavy lifting towards the end of this game. There's 2 minutes left on the game clock here. Plenty of time for eUnited to turn this round around, but NaVi are going to know that as well. They can't get desperate here. They can't think this game is done until they see that win come up on the board.
And it would be a very eUnited thing to do to bring this game back. We've seen them do it countless times over the course of this season. Don't count them out just yet.
Full setup here for eUnited as well. Snipe Down has the ball in his hands. Rhino taken down, 2-4 here for eUnited. Repulsor used just to give a bit of time for teammates to arrive and help with these final 2 kills. Mighty sends himself in, and Suspector and Snipe Down send 2 NaVi members to the grave. It's a good hold here from eUnited.
Very good hold, just like we said. They were down by 30 points. They're right back in this now, only down by 15.
Ryan Noob is there. Suspector is right alongside him. Kimbo's going to go first. Look at this nade. Push coming in from NaVi as well. So well coordinated. 2 players fall from eUnited. It's only a 10-point game, but 3 players fall here for eUnited. NaVi with a clean break. They keep the ball in pipes as well. Not even a playable opportunity for eUnited.
And it was the time that they needed to strike. The game had come within 10 points, and they make sure that they make the push now. Only 15 points away from closing it out.
15 points away, but the camo is on the map. We have to see who gets control of that. It looks like eUnited have control of that side of the map. So this might be the last opportunity if eUnited have managed to get that camo. For now, though, Kimbo working with Mighty's trying to hold off the push, but eUnited have the ball in their hands.
Ball was played there. eUnited will bring it back all up to the pipes. Look at Mighty's, grapples a shock. Gonna fly right in and try to do some damage. Here comes the push, the team push. 2 dead now for eUnited.
Mighty's doing so much damage in this game. He sat at 22 and 20, only a positive 2, but these kills could be everything. Sniped down, last alive here, and it's going to be NaVi who pick up that ball as well. 2 players still in the death screen. NaVi with the rotation, Mighty's with the headshot, and NaVi will win game number 1.
Oh my God, what a start here for the European side. As we said, the only European team to qualify directly into the Halo World Championship, and then reminding us why that fact is true. What a game number 1. We heard from Jimbo earlier today about how they were prioritizing this game number 1, and they come out swinging a 2-0 win over eUnited.
This team's been through it all this year. This team has been through it all. Highs, lows, team changes, drama. Everything kind of kept behind closed doors at times, but trust me, it feels like right now NaVi have picked a time to finally find their form and remind us of how good they can be. Everyone just looks so comfortable with their role, their responsibility, and that man on your screen, Kimbo,
cool under pressure.
Full robot mode.
I mean, unbelievable. We didn't get a chance to talk about it during the listen-in. Kimbo drops back to elevator with the shock, and eUnited sets up a signature eUnited timing push into Whirlpool from Pipes and Pizza. Ryan Noob is nading the same time that Snipedown is nading, and they're a fraction of a second off of each other, and Kimbo just rips Snipedown's head in Whirlpool. Little things like that was picking apart these tactical and strategic approaches of eUnited, and they just came out and totally surprised eUnited in game number 1.
100%, and now NaVi are going to look forward to game 2. I think this is our opportunity to strike. We cannot let a strong game 1 fall to the wayside. They need to double up on it now, and they need to get themselves into a 2-0 lead to potentially send this series a little bit further than some people were thinking when we saw these 2 names at the start of the series.
Right, and on the side of eUnited, they need to laser up, focus up, realize what's at stake in game number 2. Let's not forget, eUnited has lost Aquarius Slayer to the likes of Jailings in Orlando, right? They've been blown out in that game type by an underdog. It could happen again. They need to realize what they're playing for here. As Lottie said on the desk, every match in pool play will determine your bracket this weekend. 100%.
It's going to be very, very important to get through not only the pool, but like you say, the placement is everything as well. But this is the play you were talking about. Kimbo, that one headshot allows NaVi to complete the rotation of that ball towards blue, and then the push is just set up beautifully. But this as well from Mighty's. Last player alive, has camo shock, does not feel the pressure.
How about also just how calm the listen-in was and how structured the listen-in was from NaVi? How about you have Mighty saying he's top elevator or some ish, and somehow that call out is enough where they focus up on catwalk, they focus up on top A, he gets the help he needs, and really they're just prioritizing the exact call outs they need to, and they're just getting converted.
Well, that's the big thing, right? You use that term, that prioritizing things. You can hear it. Top A is the kill. That means everyone's attention needs to go towards top A. That is our vital piece of information that we need to convert into a kill to give ourselves an opportunity. NaVi's comms sounded really crisp, really clean, and I've got to say as well, hearing Wonderboy behind them, getting players fired up when they're playing well, that just gets this roster locked in even more.
It's a huge part of coaching, it really is. When you feel like you're going off and the whole team is just absolutely popping off and the coach is getting into it as well, it really creates a unique chemistry, unique vibe on the stage. It showed in game number 1. Also, Wonderboy not only hyping up the team, but saying things like Jimbo is a priority. We're looking at Jim here. He's also, you heard every camo being called during that listening as well. Now, as we said, we head to Slayer on Aquarius game number 2. eUnited ended 1-1 in Orlando. 1 loss, 1 win on this game type. As we said, losing to Jailings there in a surprise, and NaVi was actually 1-0, beating Cruelty 50-41 in groups. So if NaVi plays their game and they catch a cold eUnited once again, they have a chance of taking game number 2. But you got to think on the side of eUnited, they are worried here. They need to make sure game number 2 is theirs.
Yeah, they should be worried as well. I think that game number 1, if it's a 2-1, a close round, you know, you're kind of like, oh, maybe NaVi just came out hot, eUnited finding their feet. But that was a pretty conclusive game number 1 win from NaVi. Not only just the way that they played it, the organization, the shots that were being hit, they weren't being outclassed whatsoever. So now that we move on to Aquarius Slayer, where you need to be hitting every single shot and you need to be prioritizing the right kills at the right time, it's a big opportunity here for NaVi to go 2-up in the series, but at the same time, eUnited, if they answer back now, all the momentum we're talking about NaVi just gained from game 1 is gone and it's forgotten about.
Absolutely. Big respect here, of course. Wonderboy rocking the Ukrainian flag. NaVi, a Ukrainian organization. Amazing to see all the support, of course, for not only the NaVi organization, but of course Ukraine as a whole here in this time. And gotta say, Wonderboy's rocking the Ukrainian flag quite well here. And as we said, they sound good in their comms. got to think going into this game number 2, it's really got to be pedal to the metal for the side of eUnited and just getting caught off guard. I think also if you look at the only reason that we saw eUnited hanging on in the game number 1 was that heroic play ball from Ryan New. Also, resilience from eUnited. Let's not forget, round 2 was tied 32-32. There was a moment where we thought eUnited might run away with this. They brought the game all the way back from 62-38 to 68-58. They brought the game within 10, and Mark, as you called it, the perfect timing push that came in on the pipes. They knew that they had to strike, and they did it at the perfect timing.
So what have eUnited got then? Let's see how this series develops, and I've got to be honest, I am completely locked in now.
Yes.
They have sold tickets to me for this series because this is the start that I think everyone would have wanted for entertainment purposes, right? Because we mentioned Pool D, Group of Death, you can see why. You've got the likes of Sentinels in here. You've got Ascend in this group as well, by the way. You're going to have a huge European matchup between NaVi and Ascend, but for now, it's time for us to head to Aquarius and fill in the next chapter of this story. 1-0 at the moment to NaVi after the oddball win. Can eUnited answer back, or will NaVi put themselves on the cusp of an upset?
I don't think we could have asked for a better start to this series, right? This was not just a 2-1 oddball win. This was a dominant 2-0 blowout win for NaVi in game number 1. They are the underdogs. They get the upset in game number 1. What can they do here? We're locked in for game number 2, Aquarius Slayer.
Camo the focus for both teams off the rip here. Let's see who can get hold of that power up. Kimbo going for a very aggressive flank actually at the top at the start of this game. Right through bottom middle, right to the other side, and gets the camo for free as well. 2-1 the score. But Kimbo securing that power up could be the difference maker here. Unfortunately, Might is just going to light him up with a grenade to his teammate. Maybe just trying to increase the difficulty level here.
Oh, Kimbo will eventually be found out, so eUnited playing the slow game there. Kimbo will be down. I believe this is actually going to be snaking on your screen. We'll get that fixed here on the bottom left. As we know, back over to Kimbo here, and they're trapped in the base 5-3 off the opening.
5-3 off the opening. Heatwave was in the hands of eUnited, though. You can see that from the death screen of one of the NaVi players early on. However, that little pick from them is going to bring this to within 1. Snipe down going to be challenging. He's going to have some help coming in from Ryan who just about gets away with that one. The Heatwave being the difference maker.
Stays alive as well, 8-4, and how quickly eUnited can convert there on what was just a 2-kill lead now becomes a 4-kill lead, as they will get several dead here and maintain control. Ryan New going to head back to top middle, 1 dead for each side.
Really good start here, really good response from eUnited after what would have been a wake-up call for them in game number 1. It's a 3-kill game between the two teams, but the Heatwave has been the difference at the moment. Jimbo is going to have the Dynamos and put a couple of pairs on their ends and make them stand up for a few moments on players, but that's not going to be enough to really put the pressure back onto eUnited. At the moment, eUnited have had the numbers advantage for the majority of this game, and it's reflecting in that scoreline.
You can also tell that game number 1 was indeed a wake-up call for eUnited. They come out swinging here, 14-8. Ooh, Rain tries to check the corner, but eventually gets a great trade with Jimbo. He's going to be very happy with that in the end. Here's Kimbo with the Heatwave.
Kimbo with the Heatwave, first time we've seen this, but he gets absolutely decimated by 3 different weapons from 3 different players of eUnited. It's a 6-kill lead here. It's starting to extend ever so slightly. Even early in the game, NaVi have to be extremely careful here that they don't let eUnited pick up momentum and extend that lead to something which is just unsurmountable towards the end of the game.
Well, it was all NaVi in game number 1. Now it seems to be all eUnited here in game number 2 with an 8-kill lead. Let's get into an Astro listening with the side of eUnited.
I'm leaving.
I'm looking shrooms.
Dynamos in 5 seconds.
Shrooms one. In first one. Too much on shrooms. I got one.
Nice, dude. All right, Dynamo's popping. Dynamo's popping for this next
He
push.
might have him. He might have him. Look, yeah.
Okay.
Never killed one.
Yeah.
What's up, Big One? Absolute Big One.
I have Dynos.
On command.
We gotta go for it. We gotta go for it.
Yeah.
Forward.
Top E, guys.
Blue window.
Gonna be on top blue window.
I got naded. I'm one.
Yep.
In blue vent. Blue vent.
Blue gold gen.
One shot blue vent. Going top car side. He's sitting in the vent.
Gen 2.
On your right, Eric, if you go in. Nice shot.
Another guy. Well, on Dynos. On Dynos.
Looking Dynos.
There should be guys.
He's there.
Dynos, one shot.
Dude, we got P2, Eric.
Nice job. New Dynos popping right now. New Dynos.
Red gen.
You got Dynos?
They're about to pop. About to pop.
Yeah, I'll take you in. I'll take you in. One shot. Nice, good on.
On
Dynos now.
They have him.
I got a good spawn.
He's got thrust. He's one dead.
Nice job, Eric.
They got camo.
Alright, get there. No, it's up in 30. It's up in 30.
One P2.
I got blue thrust.
P2.
Red gen are now kind of weak.
Nading vent.
Can you help me P2 run?
Yeah, I'm here, P2. He's down their street.
One there window.
I'm
Pushing.
almost P2. I'm 1 second behind.
10 seconds for new
Yo, RP jump, gonna jump, puppy.
Hear that.
One time I Gen. Oh, red Gen and front red were both weak.
One P, guys. One
Red
P.
Gen and front red.
Zero Gen. He's still Red Gen.
Dinos in 5. Dinos in 5.
It's up, so much out. Red Gen's.
Well, the first half of this game, as we come back from the Astro listening, has been dominated by eUnited, but NaVi's starting to rally a little bit here. They're starting to close that lead, and now it's a 7-kill game.
Yeah, just like that. They're managing to keep the game close. You have to wonder, was it too little too late? They really let the game get away early on. They're going to have to claw back over these next 20 kills.
And they're starting to do so, but as you say, maybe it was just too much of a slow start for them in game number 2, and eUnited playing too damn well, getting those 3-4 deads that turned this into the score that we find at the moment. But Kimbo might have the thing to turn the game on its head once more. That, of course, is the camouflage. eUnited find themselves 3 dead. This is an opportunity for NaVi to rack up multiple kills in a row, and it's starting to close that gap now.
Oh my God, this is a 4-kill game here. What was an 8-kill game? Make it a 2-kill game, 29-31. They're gonna get another one here. It's now a 2-kill game at 32-30. What a run from NaVi. They are right back in this game.
They're back in this game, but Snake is going to run into trouble. Manages to get a trade somehow and information. eUnited find themselves 2 dead. NaVi with numbers once more. It's a 1-kill game. What a comeback this has been so far from NaVi.
This is unbelievable there. That was an 8-kill lead during the entire listening from eUnited, and NaVi has once again picked them apart. Still a 1-kill game, 34-33.
Couple of picks though, go to eUnited. So important to do. Make sure that you're getting your trades in these situations. NaVi within 1, make it 2 as eUnited fly forward and get a couple more trades. They've got to be so careful here, both teams. A 3-4 dead, that could be the game swing completely in one of these teams' favors. This is on a knife edge, this game number 2 here.
Absolutely down to the wire. We saw some very close Slayer games yesterday. This one is no exception here. And in the home stretch, it will be kill for kill. You got to be so careful how you play each of these situations.
Couple of kills traded per side, but it's eUnited who seem to come out with the better of those trades. 2 players in the death screen for eUnited. NaVi also finding some players in the death screen, but it's a 3-kill advantage. So for that perspective, with that camo coming up, that means map control here for eUnited. If they can lock down the camo, that was the thing that got NaVi back into the game. That could be their way of closing it out. And hearing that little sound in the back of my ears, you can see that it's RyanNoob who's managed to control it, and eUnited at just the right time have got control that they needed.
And who better to have camo at this moment in the game? One of the sneakiest players to ever play professional Halo here. They will have just a 3-kill lead, 41-38. Gonna pick up another one for free as well, make it 42-38.
Camo isn't gonna last too much longer though. NaVi did a good job of kind of taking everyone else out around RyanNoob, leaving him on an island, but now he's got the heat wave, now he's got the camo as well. The camo disappears, but keeping the weapons in your hand at this stage of the game is massive. RyanNoob now on a little bit of a tear alongside Snipe down. It's just 6 kills to go here for eUnited to tie the series up.
Oh boy, incredible sequence here, as you say, now up by 6. 45-39, the late game composure from eUnited really coming in here in game number 2.
Still 4 to go. NaVi need 10. It's still very doable on both sides. RyanNoob just playing his life so well, getting so much information. He's positioning around these walls as well. You can see he's always ready. A couple of shots, scamper away. Just be a nuisance, be annoying, be elusive. And with the thrust, it's going to make it even more difficult for NaVi to shut him down. But this game has come to a complete standstill here.
Look how nerdy to see. He sits in the connector there, but he gets flanked in the end. Not over just yet, 47-42.
Oh, big from Jimbo, though. He gets 2. He had to get 2 at that point as well. Kimbo and Mighty's combine. It's a 4-kill game, but NaVi have no deaths to play with here. Just 2. eUnited can afford a couple more.
4 minutes on the clock as well. A lot of time to play with here, so eUnited is not going to force this just yet. If Kimbo and NaVi get the advantage, though, they might push 44-49.
Only 1 kill to go here. RyanNoob's going to be challenging. Jimbo keeps Kimbo alive, but it's going to be eUnited who answer back in game number 2 to tie up the series at 1-1. The late game composure, the difference between the 2 teams.
Also, what a back and forth in that game. It looked like it was going to be an eUnited clean sweep all game. 8-kill lead all the way through the early game. And instead, NaVi ties up the game at 33. An unbelievable comeback. But as you say, late game composure really coming in there from eUnited. I think they knew that they needed to clutch up then and there.
I will say this as well. If I'm NaVi right now, I see RyanNoob standing up and walking around a little bit. I think that's a good sign. To be honest with you, I know that he's thinking we're in a series here, because If it's 2-0 the other way, I don't think Ryan Noob is getting up and walking around and thinking about having a quick break. Jimbo looks completely locked into this series as well. And the good thing for NaVi, even though it's a loss, and you know, all credit in the world to eUnited with the way they especially started that game, I think that NaVi know. I think even though it was a close game, it wasn't a huge blowout. They made that comeback. They know they can send this series deep.
They absolutely do. And just as a note in terms of tournament administration, there after game number 2, teams do have an optional water break, and very rarely do you see them take that. But it looked like maybe on the eUnited side of the stage, as you said, that might have been instigated. Maybe a little bit of a mental reset. They want to slow down the game. They show a lot of momentum of NaVi, not only with that game number 2, but also maybe with a little bit of time as well. We'll take a look at some highlights from that game number 2.
It was Ryan with a heat wave that really started things out hot here for eUnited as well. That thing on LAN, let me tell you, on LAN it's pretty strong, but on LAN it is a different beast altogether. The score was kind of 5-6 kills in the advantage of eUnited up until around that 20-25 kill mark. It's a really strong push here from Snipe down as well.
It's 23-11.
He does, but this comeback, Andy, it was
23-11, even though that's an eUnited win. That's concerning, right? That you're letting that game get tied at the 33 mark again. I mean, NaVi essentially won that game in the middle, and I swear if they had not gotten down to a 23-11 deficit, that's a NaVi win. They need to make sure they're not finding themselves that down that early in a game.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough sometimes on Aquarius as well. We know how there can be 7, 8, 9 kill swings if you get control of Heatwave camo and you get a 3 or 4 dead and you've got players kind of spawning on a grid all together in the fridge, wherever it might be. You can do a lot of damage extremely quickly, but having the composure to stay in a game like that is kind of the secret, right, of some of these big series, some of these big games. Knowing that there is the opportunity for a team to just play really well and put you in the death screen a few times in a row, you know you can do it back to them, and keeping that in the back of your mind is massive. As now we head to what will be a war zone. It is a grind. It is capture the flag on Bazaar. This is the one that's going to see a team go into the lead in the series.
It absolutely will. By the way, Ryan Noob 15, 9, and 10 in that game type. Incredible numbers there. He goes up. He's +6 with 10 assists in a game they win by 5. I would say that's a pretty big contribution there in that game number 2.
Yeah, Aquarius seems to be the map where I'm always looking at Ryan Noob, and he always puts up big numbers, especially in Slayers. I think he's just really, really good at controlling that heat wave as well, just being a nuisance. Yep. You can hear the timing of the dynamos as well coming in from Chick stood behind them, and every single facet that is on that map, eUnited are always on top of, including, of course, that thrust, which has been such a difference maker in those 1v1 battles.
Absolutely. Now, as we look to game number 3 here, Bazaar CTF, we'll talk about the history of these two teams on this game type. When we talked to NaVi, they said, we're not confident in that game type. It is not one of our stronger game types. That's why we're prioritizing games 1 and 2. eUnited actually beat Optic in Orlando on this game type. Sniped had a 1.78 KD. The team had a 1.48 KD. So they know how to play this game type. They know how to play it against, right now, the best in the world. You have to think it's going to go in their favor in terms of those stats. However, maybe NaVi got enough momentum off of that game number 1 where they're going to show up in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, we'll look at the head-to-head between two of the main players on both of these teams. On the left, you can see Rain. On the right, you can see Kimbo from Germany. The KD's looking pretty good across the board for both players at the moment. But, you know, you're talking about stats. You're talking about, you know, how these teams have played on Bazaar. Just to give you a little bit more context, let's say emotional context. I was watching some NaVi scrims the other day. They won a Bazaar capture the flag, and Jim went, we won Bazaar. Wow. So that's kind of reaction that you got from Jim when they actually won that game type, which kind of shows where maybe in the pecking order they see themselves as a Bazaar CTF team.
I mean, as you see there, of course, the objective game types, they're really going in favor of NaVi, with Kimbo with even bigger stats on the board. And as we get ready for this game type, it's all going to come down to who can laser up. This is not an easy game type. This is a grueling game type. It's going to be 12 minutes of back and forth, just slaying and more slaying. Whichever team could do it better. I think you and I are going to be looking for that first cap.
Yeah, first cap's going to be massive here, especially if it goes to eUnited, because they're quite happy to sit mid-map. Yeah. They're quite happily play 12 minutes at 1-0.
Of the most annoying Halo you will ever go against, for sure.
And that is going to be probably the game plan, just to destroy NaVi mentally if they can get that first cap on the board. But if it goes to NaVi, if it goes to a team who know this is a weak game type for them, the belief that gives you as a squad, the confidence cannot be understated. It looks like we're live here. Game number 3, we're tied up at 1-1.
This will be the go-ahead game in the series. Whichever team wins this will be 1 game away from closing out what has already been a grueling series for these two teams. And as we get underway, I think it's also important to remember, you heard them talking about in Eclipse, winning these games in pools completely changes your bracket. This will determine who you play for the rest of the tournament. Everything to play for here, even in day number 1.
Great start here from eUnited, though. They'll get 4 dead from NaVi, and that means An overshielded snipe down, which is a terrifying sight for anyone on a Halo map. He's also going to get the rockets. They just loaded him up.
Someone call the police, because this is not a safe situation. A man with all the power to play with still has him overshield left. Gets spiked out, though. So he's going to have to reset, still with one rocket in hand.
Lost the overshield, one rocket. It looks like NaVi managed to break out mid-map. That'll be slowed down, though, by Snipe Down with that one rocket, just to slow things down a little bit. And you can see with the way that Snipe Down's playing at the moment, he knows he can't do too much. He's got to wait for the rest of his teammates to get on the map, as he is the furthest up. And now that they have got back on the map, they've picked up a couple of kills. Look at Snipe Down there, how quickly he reacts to that. He's inside of the NaVi base. He's behind enemy lines, and he's doing what Eric Rona has done for so many years.
Wow, he wastes no time. Takes the express train right through the front door. Just blows the place down. Now he's even catching Mighty's completely off guard for the killing spree.
5 in a row. Kimbo trying to overextend. He gets taken down as well. Snakey, last player, really in position alongside Jimbo, maybe to do some damage. But Rhino moving that flag. And his attention to the respawners. Maybe just not the timing there to force this one through, but that Dynamo is going to shred away his shields.
Oh my god, Ryan Noob is a one-man show there. Dynamo's the entire pillar, stays alive as long as he can. 3 dead, Jimbo the only player alive. He's a spawner. This flag will go home.
This flag will go home. eUnited, they go up 1-0 in our game number 3. Rain the player, of course, to run it home. But, I mean, we need to talk about the work that Ryan Noob just did there, Andy. He did so much to get that flag back home.
It's beautiful. He knew exactly what he needed to do. Rain somehow stays alive. Bottom middle. Overshield still up. That will pave the way for Ryan Noob to fly in. And does not get it. Does not get the burn. That overshield will still be down with 2 players dead for eUnited. Suspector will have to take out the green gun and try to wait for Jimbo around the corner.
Oh, he doesn't know he's there, Jim. And Suspector gets the green gun to take it out of commission. Snipe Down gets taken down as well. So even though Jim didn't have the overshield, he gets the damage required to find eUnited 4 dead in the death screen now. NaVi with a chance to answer back here as all of eUnited are spawning on that rocket side of the map.
Yeah, Suspector spawns alley. He takes a few shots. He knows he needs to just OE. Keep an eye on the kill feed. That will determine if this flag goes past the halfway mark.
Oh, it's Kimbo who picks up 2, so that's massive. eUnited, 2 of them in the death screen. The rest should be located pretty quickly, which means that Jimbo can force this one home. They say they're not that good at Bazaar CTF. Well, they're not looking too bad at it right now. It's 1-1 here as NaVi answer back.
My God, this series has delivered. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Halo World Championship. This is day number 1. You're in Pool D, the pool of death. Some of the best teams here in the world fighting alongside one another. Snipe Down, my God, with the grapple rocket into your tree. That's something you want to wake up to, if we're honest. 3 dead for NaVi. Snakey was your last player alive.
Snakey and Jimbo working together at the moment just to hold off the push, just to try and get the rest of the team back into the map. But Ryan Noob going to be working beautifully to make sure one of those players is eliminated. All the hard work done by NaVi could be undone in the next 30 seconds or so, because eUnited have that flag on the move. They're looking to take the lead once more.
Oh boy, 90s and Kimbo are trying to fly. They get through, but they're getting pinched here by Ryan Noob as they try to OE. Not going to happen.
Ryan Noob, though, last player alive. Snakey and Jimbo, where are you on the map? There they are. They're on the return. Ryan Noob maybe thinking about doing something crazy here. Maybe thinking about a touch instead. The flag will be sent home. So NaVi make a great defensive play.
A beautiful from Snakey and Jimbo. As we said, they're getting pinched there on the rocket side. Overextend. You think they're going to die. They get the kills on the double door, and they just jump on the re. Ryan Noob cannot get in there, and we will stay at 1-1.
Ryan Noob gets the overshield, though, and now you can hear the rat-tat-tat-tat of that assault rifle as he shreds a few shields and puts a few players on their back. Kimbo and Jimbo, the Bow brothers, go down, and Snakey and Mighties now have to try and hold him off, but that's not going to be happening as Ryan Noob continues this run.
It's going to be a bar run here. They're getting pinched, though. Rocket spawns and tree spawns. They get pinched, and that flag run's going to end a little bit early. 2 dead for eUnited. More defense from the side of NaVi. 3 dead.
One thing I love about NaVi at the moment is how decisive they're being on their call. Let's go back to that flag return they made a few moments ago, right? A lot of players haven't been shot in the back, would turn around, try and fight that battle, but they knew what the priority was, to get that flag return, to get around that corner and deal with the exact problem that was in front of them. Great shots from Suspector there to put Mighty's in the death screen, but now NaVi, for the first time in quite some time, actually on the front foot here, but it looks like eUnited have dealt with the push.
2 dead here. That will give an opportunity, some room for eUnited to push out of the base. Jimbo right away, not wasting any time, but my God, does he ever get in and out of the lockers immediately. It will still be 2 dead for NaVi. Good pressure for both sides. That will be 4 dead. And as we said, a moment to breathe here. Ryan Noob is already in the bar.
Ryan just waiting to see where those spawns come in as well. He's so smart. He knows exactly where his teammates are on the map. He knows that he can't take on 4 respawning players all at once. Ryan in that position is thinking, if I see one thrust, how quickly we all took down the players from NaVi almost instantaneously within a few seconds. It's probably going to be 4. So he waits a few seconds, wait for the help to come in, and NaVi find themselves 4 dead again. The flag is moving once again for eUnited.
Despite all those nades coming into bar, they were perfectly naded. Ryan Noob stays on height, and he stays alive. That's huge. Here comes Jimbo and Mighty's once again.
Well, this is the difference here, right? They're not running this one through the double doors. It looks like eUnited have changed the strategy. They're running this one down the alley. They're trying to get it back through the elbow. Suspected back in the base, but here's the overextension on the other side of the map now from NaVi. Kimbo's got the rockets as well, and it looks like once again, somehow, NaVi have managed to get the return.
The same exact playbook there. Mighty's and Jimbo will fly through the truck. They will tank the shots. They will get into your base, and they will stop the run.
Jimbo trying to run a counter cap as well here. He's got to deal with Ryan Noob, though. Ryan Noob just makes him explode like a Christmas cracker. And now Ryan Noob is going to be able to send this one home. He's still got overshield to play with as well.
Wow.
Counter cap from EU here as well.
Yeah, being run here. We'll take a look at exactly where that flag's going. Here it is going down bottom, and Rain says you could take this. They're actually going to double back and slay a spawner, likely going to grab that flag.
This has been the problem for eUnited though, right? Every time they've got a flag moving, they haven't won that mid-map battle. They haven't managed to pick up the kills on the spawners, the overextenders, and now Snaky to be able to get a sneaky return. He sends that one home. No contest whatsoever from Ryan Noob.
Yeah, right there. eUnited tried to wait and bait that. They had 2 dead. They knew they couldn't get the run all the way, so the flag is still down here rocket side.
This is a really important moment in the game though, and NaVi are not winning it. Kimbo is last alive. Kimbo will go down, and now you can see all NaVi spawning in the back of the base. They haven't overextend so far, and Rain, the decision made by Ryan Noob and Rain to leave the first flag, go for a recap, that's going to be perfect because now they convert finally here, eUnited. They're up 2-1, and that's just brilliant decision making from all members of eUnited.
It really is. That is eUnited playing 3 steps ahead there, knowing if they bait that return on bottom rockets, they can make sure that they stop the counter and start another run off of the next kills as well. That will give them a 2-1 lead with 4 minutes left on the clock.
Now, to put it in context how difficult it is to break through the eUnited defenses, Optic, they weren't able to do it. It was a 1-0 win for eUnited on Bazaar. Capture the flag versus Optic back in Orlando. 4 minutes left on the clock for NaVi to say, maybe we've got the formula to break through those defenses.
And like we said, this could be an opportunity here for eUnited to just show their slaying prowess, just how much they can lock down this map and be an absolute nuisance. And the gatekeepers of the mid-map to make sure that no pulls can come through. You gotta think, with only 3:45 left on the clock, that might be the game plan.
Difference maker as well has been the fact that I think it's the last 4, maybe even 5 overshields that have actually gone into the hands of eUnited. I think that NaVi have only had 1. It was that Jimbo overshield that he had that was almost immediately removed by the plasma pistol that Suspector was holding down inside of that treehouse. NaVi find themselves 3 dead. Look at eUnited. The defensive perimeter is up. You are not getting past mid-map.
Oh God, look at this. Snipe down's in your lockers. Rain is in your rockets. You're not going anywhere. Whatever door you decide to peek your head out of, you're going to have some eUnited BRs focused on it. 3 minutes left on the clock, and eUnited is holding mid-map.
Just obnoxious, but brilliant. It's the only way to describe it. NaVi get 2 though. Jimbo goes down. Great shots coming in from Rain, and now he finds himself as last alive. He's going to just sail across the vents there to make sure that he stays alive. He grabs the rockets. Can he get away with them? No, he can't. Kimbo. The ping miss strikes, and now NaVi have broken out. They have time here, and they also have maybe a rocket to play with if Kimbo can find it. It's actually going to be his teammate, but Snipe down eliminates him.
2 dead here for eUnited. Rain goes for the 360 alley-oop fish brain. Does not work out in the rockets here. 2:32 left on the clock, and NaVi still trying to get a flag on the board. Kimbo knows that he needs to wait for help here if he wants to get a flagpole.
Oh, he doesn't get the needle. A super combine this time. Snaky's there for the trade, but NaVi know that they maybe only have time for 1 more push in this position. Snaky trying to close down that gap onto Snipe down. It looks like the play ball is to go for the overshield, but here comes Ryan, who once again causing problems. Dynamo's needless. He'll use it all.
Like we said, in a moment like this is some of the last players that you want to be playing against. When eUnited can play the control game, they can play the presence game, as they will still maintain the 2-1 lead here. We are under 2 minutes left in the game.
Yet another overshield goes to eUnited as well. They have done such an incredible job of controlling this power-up. NaVi haven't had a sniff of it for the entirety of the game, and now Snipedown, he's just thinking about padding a few stats, to be honest with you. He's not got any intention of moving past the bar from NaVi. Deal with the overextension, deal with Kimbo as well, turns that one on its head. And NaVi, 3 dead once more, Snaky last alive, at least takes one to the grave.
And speaking of the stats, look at Suspector. 21 and 12 in this game right now. Snipedown also 24 and 20, but what a margin here for Suspector. As we said, eUnited feeling so good about what he's brought to this team, and it is showing on the scoreboard as well.
Around 70 seconds left in this game. Late game is where a lot of things are decided in Halo Infinite.
Oh boy, that's
Mighty's trying to stay alive. It's a good spike. It's a great spike. It shreds away at the last bit of health that Mighty's had on those double doors. Snipedown now once again just patrolling up on the high ground. NaVi, I think, with 50 seconds left, aren't going to be able to formulate enough time or enough pressure on the map to really put something meaningful together here. This should be, unless something magic happens, an opportunity here for eUnited to call this game their own and got 2-1 in the series.
Look at the damage from Snipedown. Wins that 1v1. All this tick damage as well from the Dynamo on Kimbo. He has to stay alive bottom middle. Like you said, 30 seconds. NaVi has to go now, and they need a miracle.
They look to the heavens, but I don't think that they're going to get the answer they're looking for at the moment as 2 players fall once again for NaVi. It's time to think about the next game. It's trying to think about game number 4, because eUnited, with just 14 seconds left on the clock, are going to add yet another kill to their tally. 2 more for Snipedown, who's currently sat, by the way, at 28 and 21.
A lot of those kills coming in the last 3 minutes, if we're honest there. And doesn't matter what time the kills come in, the clock will tick down, and eUnited will take game number 3 in the series and take a 2-1 lead overall.
Massive answer back here from eUnited. A wry smile on the face of Ryan Noob as well. And we said that it might go something like that.
Yep.
We said they might get a slender lead and then just hold down the middle of the map and just punish NaVi as they try to force their way towards the base. That's exactly what happened from eUnited. Now the question that we asked of eUnited after game number 1 gets asked of NaVi. What's the mentality like? Do you have the steel to come back and tie out this series?
That is the question, and Battleground is going to be Street Strongholds. That's where we're going to set our sights for this 4th game, and this series has absolutely delivered. It's crazy to think it's only the 2nd series a day on the main stage, because this has been absolutely back and forth between these 2 teams, and if we're honest, maybe a bit more of a challenge than eUnited expected.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and now as we take a look at some of the highlights, and it's going to be mostly eUnited, by the way, just to let you know. I think the overriding story, the takeaway from that for NaVi is quite simply they did not get enough overshields to damage the setup that eUnited had around the map. It was just overshield after overshield after overshield that went into the hands of eUnited. Ryan Noob just seemed to be running around with it most of the time that we saw it.
I also think we saw at the end game here, by the way, the mid game. I mean, this was just a noxious Snipedown. It feels like he was challenging so many opponents from behind. Look at this play from Ryan Noob. Damage on Snaky. Pillar nade there, takes down a second one. He's still ticking on Kimbo. That essentially leaves 3/4 of the map weak or dead for the rest of his team to convert on.
And you want to see how influential the overshield can be, right? I mean, this was the first time that NaVi got it, and it was the only time they managed to get a flag cap, so they were very efficient when they did get it, but that is what you need. You need the tools to break through the defenses of these great teams with the way the Bazaar is set up. They're just so good at locking down those angles and making sure that when you're moving towards their base, you're just running into their reticles.
Here, look at this push. This is going bar. They got split spawns there, so they get saved. This is a great stop that comes in from NaVi as they once again push through truck. They're going to get this return. They keep this one close, and that's when they start the low run here.
Started the low run, but it was stopped pretty much immediately, and you can see once again mid-map pressure here. NaVi have it. The overshield was coming up, but it wasn't enough. As eUnited do get that 2nd flag, that decisive flag, to go in their favor. And now we head to a game 4. Street Strongholds, you've been looking at these 2 teams and the build up to this event about the game types that they've been good at, that they've suffered a little bit on. Where do you stand on this one?
Yeah, Street Stronghold's a really interesting game type in this series. Overall, NaVi on territory-based game types on Streets has historically been strong. This is one of their better layouts here. We'll have to see what they can do, though, because they were 0-1, losing 250 to 63 against Oxygen in Orlando. eUnited did not play, however, they were 3-1 overall in Stronghold. So this one is a bit of a coin flip, and it's a perfect way to head into game number 4.
Well, let's see if we're going to have our first game 5 of the day here in Seattle. Will it be eUnited closing out the series 3-1, or have NaVi got something to say about it? Suspector, let's see what you've got off the break.
Let's see where these first kills go. It's going to be Jimbo, the first one to strike. However, kills are going to be traded one-on-one on each side. Suspector will get away with his life.
So NaVi are playing for B as well, so they might have a little bit of early control and a little bit of early scoring. And the way that NaVi like to play, they like to hold the 2-cap until they see an opportunity to push. They're very kind of defensive on the way that they play these control-based game types. It can mean they don't take a lot of risks, but it also means they don't get the rewards for taking the risk at times.
Snipe down there, uses that rocket, barely stays alive with the rocket from tires into A-Cord. However, does the job. 3 dead for NaVi. Once again, eUnited playing slow and steady, waiting for the opportunity to get control. It will only be 17 points on the board before eUnited starts scoring.
So smart from Snipe down there. Just something to highlight. He saw the play call from his teammates was, we're playing for C, we're going to try and play the ends. Having recognized the position he was in, backs up immediately to tower, knowing the most likely spawn is Red Room Arcade for NaVi. Gets himself in a position to get first shot and defend A. And now you're going to see a slender lead go into the hands of eUnited. Like I mentioned, playing the ends of the map, AC in their control.
That really is what we see on the more experienced Strongholds teams. They will let that first rush go. It's no problem. They want to see how the game plays out. However, 3 dead on the side of eUnited. It's a nice answer back from NaVi. Will be a momentary 4 dead as they will now get a B control, a double kill for Mighties to help with that one.
That's where I want to see them try and put some pressure on as well. Unfortunately, Snipe down.
Oh my God.
Meets Blaze and just absolutely decimates him. Change the game plan now for Kimbo as he has to back up. But those opportunities where you get 3 or 4 dead, then you can try and make a play and apply pressure. But at the moment, eUnited have just broken out. That's a little bit of a weak hold from NaVi. Mighty's trying to do what he can on free spawn, but that trade is going to secure B here for eUnited.
Absolutely. Well, Kimbo there drops back to Arcade. However, I think in this meta, you're going to get pre-nated on Arcade there. I don't think it's a safe place. I think he needs to go all the way back to A-Court, maybe PD, reset with the team there. You're always going to get naded out at the highest level in Arcade, and eUnited plays that perfectly.
eUnited might be able to get hold of rockets as well, because Snipedown's made the play to push up on the map. Kimbo's going to be there. Kimbo, great communication here from NaVi. 3 dead per side, and it's actually going to be 4 dead for eUnited. Big influential double kill on the map here from Kimbo, because not only was that a vital 1v1 full stop, he gets the rocket, and now they will have information on where the spawns are coming into.
Oh yeah, momentary 1v1 there, as you say, between Kimbo and Suspector. He'll also get a kill off the back of that, and has one more rocket as well to bring to B stairs if he wants.
Suspector going to be able to pick up one, but Jimbo gets the reset onto A, so now you're seeing end control of the map in the hands of NaVi. eUnited, this is where they got their chunk of time from. Jimbo does well enough there to make sure the shotgun isn't too influential as far as Snipe Down and his little run was concerned. But now you see eUnited, they're winning the battle for A. They'll be able to turn this back over, but look how close this is, Andy. At the moment, it's just a couple of points between the two teams.
Absolutely is here. Essentially tied up at the 60 mark. It's been back and forth once again, and you'd expect nothing less in this series based on how it's gone so far. eUnited still with tires and A control here as they look to push back out towards B.
Look at Kimbo, he's just somehow staying alive all this time. Snake is inside of B, but now he might unfortunately have to have a think about that, because Suspector comes in and gets B back for eUnited. AB in their control still, and this is the biggest lead we've pretty much seen through all of this map.
Absolutely, as we said early on, it was about 15 points or so separating the two there. It's a great melee that comes in from Mighties, however, answered back by Snipe down to the tires. It was a momentary trip cap for the side of eUnited. NaVi will get A back to stop the bleeding just a bit.
Right, though, he's got the Stalker rifle, and he can just lane people at the moment, moving up to B Street. They know this is NaVi's only real opportunity to push, but some really strong grenades are going to take 2 players down. Somehow, Ryan, how are you alive, Ryan? How?
This is Ryan Noob at his finest there. That will be 3 dead. Snipe Down's your last player alive momentarily. B should go here for NaVi. It will in the end. So a sizable lead here for eUnited. The last time we heard their team comms was on Slayer Aquarius, and they were absolutely incredible. Let's see if they're just as intense here in game number 4. It's an Astro listen-in here with eUnited.
You know, you probably Arcade on you if I had to guess.
No, I don't see anything yet.
Close.
NC?
NC.
NC with rockets, probably.
Commando, jump if you go.
Can anyone shoot C?
No, not really.
No.
They saw me. They saw me.
They have rockets, we're camping C.
All right, rocks are out. Rocks are out.
Oh, now they're
He's out,
out.
yeah.
Okay.
He's Mando.
PDM.
Okay,
Back in.
In tires, one shot. I might kill tires.
Tires, one shot, yeah.
One shot tires to pillars. In there and B.
I'm starting A.
You got PD.
Let me get later.
Check the PD, 2 shots.
Yeah, Ryan's one. Still
2
PD.
shots in PD.
Nice.
Ryan, I'm running you right now.
I didn't see me. Shotty on that bar. Shotty on bar. Not hurt.
Back.
Hey, you can leave.
Look at me, Seth.
Just coming out now. Coming hollows now.
Yo, I have to go trash.
Tires, one shot.
Tires, absolute tires.
Got him. Dead.
Nice, Aiden.
One shot.
Arcade with Shotty. Dead.
I'm getting C.
Okay. Watch your spikes too.
Let's go in A.
playing strong right. Alright, I'm peeking. I'm actually peeking left. I'm poking left.
Alright, yeah, go left, you guys. Go left.
I'm going right now.
Watch out. I got one.
Nice.
Front tower.
More weak, Kimbo.
Tower gen weak. I'm trying to watch your purple. Tower gen or not. Watch out tower gen. I'm watching purple as well. Purple down. Purple weak.
I got one. Nice.
Heaven.
Heaven to
Three
PD, last
dead.
guy. Yep, make this
I'm
normal.
blocking C. I'm blocking
Yeah,
C.
make it normal.
He could be arcade on me randomly.
No, he's hollows. He's tower gen.
Really weak. What should I attempt with that?
Nice. Keep holding. Yep.
One guy purple.
25 for
Two
rockets.
purple, I think. Two purple. I'm watching purple. I'm watching purple.
Oh,
No one there.
As we finish the Astro listening, you can feel the intensity now on the listening from eUnited. They know they're in a series here, but the takeaway for me is how similarly it seems like both teams are actually approaching with their strategies this game time.
Yeah, absolutely there. You even heard Chig on eUnited saying, make it normal. Let's slow this game time down. Let's get back in control of that BC hold that they held for so long. That gives them a 142-95 lead. However, 3 dead off the back of that. It will be rockets for Mighties as well. 4 dead. Ryan Noobs first spawner. He's dead as well. And they will keep eUnited on the back foot.
They will, and this is an opportunity for NaVi to get back into the game, but they need to take advantage here. They can't let eUnited get those first 2 or 3 picks and get back in control with at least contesting them on those fights, at least making it feel awkward for them, because if they don't win these fights, then maybe this could be eUnited crossing that 200-point margin, but at the moment, NaVi are giving as good as they got. Rain from eUnited turns his attention towards Snaky on the rails. Snaky somehow stays alive for long enough to do half shield's damage, but Rain deals with him. eUnited now with access to B, they should be able to flip this too.
By the way, take a look at the stats. This should not be as close as it is. eUnited. Oh boy, double kill there for Rain. Beautiful work with the Stalker, and to be honest, it's about time. The Stalker not been a big an influence as it normally is. 4 dead for NaVi there, but look at the stats. Suspector 14 and 9 here in this game already. Big numbers from him. NaVi being outslayed, but keeping the game within 10.
Keeping the game within 10, but this is the first time we have seen eUnited with a triple cap in this game. NaVi trying to stem the bleeding over A. A lot of resources going to be committed, but Rain just holds the ground once more. The rest of his team try to flood around him. This is the playmaker here for eUnited. Damage from this Stalker could be massive for EU.
Look at the discipline from Rain. Sure, he can get some damage there with the Stalker rifle, but it's not worth it. He's the gatekeeper on B right now. He pops 1 shot, backs down right away. He does not want to be an easy kill as he guards arcade and music.
30 seconds till the rockets come up as well. 2 kills go to the side of eUnited. NaVi find themselves 2 dead. Rain's just being such a nuisance at the moment, just running around up and down the stairs. He's like a toddler who's had too many E numbers, too many sweeties in the morning. For now, though, he's going to be put on his back. NaVi trying to wrestle their way back into this, but eUnited, they are not having any of it. They crossed the 200-point mark.
That was 2 dead for both sides. These are huge kills off the back of that. Another one, though, goes in favor of eUnited as they will continue scoring here. Now 210 to 137. A sizable lead in the home stretch. Ryan Noob also 1 rocket to play with. Double kill. He's still got another rocket as well as he will fly right into PD. He knows someone hiding around. Mighties, though, with a very nice kill against Ryan Noob.
He'll be taken down, though, and NaVi now, I think that might be the nail in the coffin for this series. Suspector still has 1 rocket to play with eUnited crossing the 230-point mark now. 1 kill here from Suspector should give them the numbers they need to close out the series, to turn it on its head. NaVi making a desperate play on C, though.
Desperate play is right. Kimbo's your last player alive here. Suspector is 17 and 10 in this game. This is the home stretch. 5 points to go here for eUnited.
This will do it, and this shows the resilience of eUnited. NaVi, though, somehow getting to A. I thought this game was over. Suspector has to turn his attention now to B. The grenades are coming in. Here comes the flood from NaVi. They're not giving this one up yet.
Wow, great pre-nades there on music here from Suspector. He shoots.
They get a reset.
Does not get to finish there on B. NaVi will continue scoring. They are not dead yet.
Snipe down, though, showing experience, showing that just a few seconds of calmness can win you games of Halo. They flip B back in their favor. Snipe down already, putting pressure onto A. This will be game, set, and series going to eUnited. Well, that was a tough series for them. NaVi gave as good as they got.
And what looked like it was going to be an even more difficult series for eUnited ends in a 3-1 win. And like you said, the resilience, the composure from this team, they're reminding us why they are a veteran squad with not just their sights on a respectable finish here, but by the end of the day, Sunday, they won a world championship. It took them a little bit in that series, but they do find a solid form. like you said, though, not as easy as they might have liked.
100%. I think they just looked stronger and stronger as the series went on, though.
Yes.
I think they maybe were just caught off guard a little bit from NaVi in that first game. NaVi, of course, waiting for this opportunity to play on that main stage for so long, but eUnited stepping up to the challenge, turning that series on its head. And like you say, just a little bit of experience, those final moments of the last 3 games really was the difference.
That really was it. You take a look at the last 10% of each of those games in terms of both score and time, and it was eUnited making cool, calm, collected decisions that won them those games, and they made it look easy in the end.
They do indeed make it look easy. So Group D, or Pool D, I should say, looking pretty rosy right now for eUnited. If you're NaVi, though, knowing that you've got Sentinels and you've got what we'll call a local derby against the Sen to come up, it's a tough road ahead for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Sentinels, you're also looking and you're like, man, that series was even closer than we expected as well. They cannot take NaVi lightly. Keep in mind, they will be playing NaVi later today as well. We're going to get to see a Sentinels matchup against every single one of these teams as well across every stream. So the pool of death looking even more deadly than we might have expected.
It certainly is, and there's so many things to be decided. Like you mentioned, how the pools end up is how your bracket might turn out as well. We watched the Optic documentary yesterday, and they were saying, you know, we got a good bracket because of our placement in pools.
Exactly.
It's really helped us on our way to winning that tournament, and every single team who's in this pool at the moment is probably thinking exactly the same thing in every single pool. So congratulations to eUnited on the win. I think a tough series for them, but I think that's the kind of series maybe they would have wanted to be tested early on in the tournament.
Let's not forget, right, if you're watching Eclipse from eUnited, if you're watching the process from Optic Gaming, you heard Formal say, we want those tougher matches in groups. We want to face these tough teams now. Get ready for bracket play. You don't want these to all be 3-0s, and you get to bracket play and you're not ready for the fastest, the toughest opponents. I couldn't agree more. I think eUnited is really proud of a win like this, right? They had to work hard for it. They maybe got woken up just a little bit, and now here they are able to move on through the rest of pool play, but already with a pretty tough series under their belt as well.
Yeah, it certainly was a strong performance from eUnited, looking extremely good. And now we get to hear from one of the eUnited players. It's Mr. Snipedown. He's on the stage now with Blaze.